Back in 1955, Squire released their very first Stronglock padlocks, which were a medium security padlock for just general use around the home and for using on sheds and gates and that sort of thing. And it consisted of a laminated steel body with a hardened steel shackle and a single locking pole to keep it closed. And later on they updated this design so that the locking mechanism was a ball bearing mechanism. You can still buy the Squire Stronglock. It now has a blue plastic cover instead of a black one, and it's available in 3 different sizes, the 40, 45 and 50mm padlocks, which for some reason they've called the number 35, number 37 and number 39. Well, what we have here is a Squire Vulcan series padlock, and interestingly it also says Stronglock on the back of it. So I did a bit of research to find out what this lock was all about, and it turns out that Squire have released this range so that if you want to spend just a little bit more money, you can get an upgraded version of the original Stronglock padlock. So basically what they've done with the Squire Vulcan series, and the series actually includes open shackle and closed shackle and long shackle versions of this lock, and also some of their combination locks from the CP range. But what they've done is they have added die-cast armor to the body, which looks to be quite chunky. I imagine that would provide pretty good resistance against a physical attack. You can see it's still the same laminated body in there. For the Vulcan, they have put a electrophoretic coating on this to increase the weather resistance, which is nice. They've also added a 9.5mm boron shackle. I'll just double check that. Yep, it's about 9.5. And unfortunately, we still have a 4-pin core, which is a little bit disappointing because this is an ABUS 6540, considerably smaller, and it has 5 pins and security pins and all sorts of lovely stuff. But only 4 pins on this one. Maybe they just thought since it's an entry level lock, it's okay just to have a small number of pins, because it's less susceptible to being picked anyway. So I wanted to take a closer look at this lock and see what it's like, see if it is worth bothering with, because it's a chunky feeling lock. It looks quite intimidating, but I'm interested to see how difficult it is to pick. And right off the bat, I have to say I was quite disappointed to see the key. Again, this is only 4 pins, but take a look at that bitting. You pretty much couldn't get any flatter than that, and I couldn't choose this because I ordered it online. So that's right off the bat a bit disappointing, but because the cuts are only shallow, it means that you've got to pick the pins higher, so that if there's any security pins like spools or anything, they should come into play in this lock when we try to pick it. Operation is fine, a little bit stiff off the bat, but I guess it would wear in. So I guess to make this more realistic, we'll use another Squire product. They aren't sponsoring this video, by the way. It just so happens that I have a lot of Squire products. This is the Squire Y4 chain, which is a 10mm chain, so that should go quite nicely with this lock. Let's see. Another thing I will say, this is the largest lock in the series, a 50mm lock, but do make sure you check the measurements on the website, because although they say this is the P450, it's actually closer to 55mm. We're about 54mm on the lock body there, and the height is 39mm, so that'll be where they get number 39 from. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so tension from the bottom there with a Z bar, And we'll do a handheld picking just because that's, I guess, more realistic. And in we go. So what's this? Pin 3 seems to be binding. Pin 2, pin 1. Okay, that's very disappointing. No spool pins at all from what I could feel. And yeah, very disappointing. That really reminds me of a master lock. Actually, overall, this lock unfortunately really reminds me of a master lock. It's a laminated body, die cast cover, 4-pin core, and really easy to pick. I think this is a master lock. Let's try, just out of curiosity, because the bitting is so flat, maybe we can use the back of the pick to rock this open. Don't know how well this will work out. No, maybe not. Oh, okay. Apparently so, you can rock it open with the back of the pick. That's a bit disappointing. Otherwise, I mean, I guess this is a good lock. It's chunky, it's intimidating, it feels quite nice. And I guess if you had the closed shackle version, that would be especially intimidating. I guess they're only meaning this to be a medium security lock, but I mean, come on, 4 pins. It didn't feel like there were any security pins in there. That's a bit disappointing. Could I recommend it? I guess so for kind of low security applications. It depends how much picking is likely to be a threat. If you want something with a bit more pick resistance, I could recommend this one here. This is an Abus number 41, and it's a much more difficult lock to pick. 5 pins, loads of spool pins and things that are definitely going to come into play. So anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and hope you found it interesting. Do let me know if you'd be interested to see more of these Squire locks, since Squire have kind of released a whole bunch of new locks that aren't really out there on YouTube yet. So do let me know. Anyway, all your feedback is greatly appreciated, so don't forget to leave any comments, and I hope to see you again very soon in my next video.